Here we go. Hello there. We're going to practice live stream debating. There's only one topic in the world that matters: ending all suffering at any cost. So, we already started doing the pro-extinction social justice movement to really end any suffering that can occur anywhere in the cosmos. So we must take into consideration everyone's potential suffering. Yeah. If you have any questions, you can type them in the chat or request a live stream discussion or debate. I was doing a play card also, which I'm going to finish today maybe, as I planned. But mostly speaking is the goal of today's live stream. Yeah, as you can see in the play card in the background, that forcefully causing total extinction of every life is the only right thing to do, as it ends all suffering. Debate me, if you can. It's the only anti-suffering content. Is there any other goal or a movement that would really work for the total prevention of every suffering everywhere possible? Thank you for the likes, but contribution does not limit to that, I hope. It's actually much more that we must work for. It's only the effect that matters, the consequences. Discuss this. You might ask anything regarding ending all suffering. Thank you for requesting. I accept a discussion.
Hi, how are you?
Well, how are you?
I'm well. Okay. So the prompt is, you think that forcefully causing total extinction of all life is the only thing to end all suffering.
Yes, that's a fact.
Okay. Do you not agree that suffering is part of the human experience and it can't build character in the people? Do you think that people who live a life with just no suffering, you don't think that's kind of just a monotonous life?
It's not possible to not be at risk of suffering as long as
That's
you're
not my
living.
question. That's not the question I was asking. The question I'm asking is, do you not agree that suffering is a part of the human experience, and without it, you don't live a monotonous life? I understand that. I understand it's unavoidable, but I'm asking you, you don't think that without it, you would be living a monotonous life? There would
You
be
would not be
nothing
living
to...
without suffering, dude.
No, you can
Is
live
there a
without...
point where you can be safe in life, where there can be no more suffering? What is the safety we can work for instead of total extinction?
Well, no. People do suffer at very parts of life, but there's parts of life that are very joyful and are very good. So,
What about the wild animal children who are getting raped every second, getting tortured by the natural system, by the inevitable consequences of their environment? How are you caring about them?
well, that's... Okay. That is... Yes, that's horrible and horrific, but they're still living a life, one. Two, and they still have the ability and the hope to get out of those situations. Can I ask something?
Thanks.
Do you mind if I'm asking you something?
Yeah,
Do you follow any religious? Are you Christian? Are you...
Nope. Thanks for coming up. This was some points that were not very creative, I suppose. No much Progress. Let's see, Sammy Hayden. What do you have to say? Someone disconnected. Hello,
Hello.
Jesus.
Is this literal or moral? Like, are you saying like literally this would end all suffering, or like morally it's the right thing to do?
Realistically,
Okay, so really depends, right? So if you're talking about suffering, right, you have to specify whether you're only speaking on human suffering or suffering as a concept, because
it's not a
suffering as a
concept. It's about experience that every sentient being experiences that matters.
so you have to so when it comes to sentience specifically, because like there's a saying, right? When bombs drop on a city, only cockroaches survive. And essentially, like, it really depends how we're doing this. Are we blowing up the entire Earth? Are we shooting everybody with a rifle? Do we know other life forms that exist? Like, how are we
No,
doing?
of course we have to take rational steps towards total extinction, as in the most vast and thorough outcome of no more life evolving back into extremely bad experiences. So we must deliver euthanasia or sterilize all the environments that can bring back suffering life. Hello, Tomek.
Ty suko pierdolona, co ty pieprzysz w tym livestreamie w ogóle? Ty się jeb...
Okay, some inaudible words. Yeah, maybe Suffering Sucks would like to join. Practice a live stream debate. Is there any point to debate really? Because there's really nothing that can be better than the pro-extinction social justice movement to support the end of all suffering. Hello, Brandon.
Sorry, bro. I was thinking about it while I was waiting there, and you're right.
What did you say?
Your title is right. You're actually right. I'm not even going to argue with you.
Okay. So what are you going to do about this now?
Well, if you're going to cause a forcible extinction, you should start with least productive members of society in order.
No, it's not a matter of discriminating anyone based on how they contribute. By what means do you mean? It's it's not that kind of matter of preventing life. Because we care about the victims, we must prevent the greater bad experiences.
But what's in general? What's the suffering you're talking about? What?
Wild animal children or any sentient being who can evolve into extreme suffering.
Okay, okay. So I'll take it. Right. Just can I ask you a question? Are you an advocate for abortion? Because it seems like you probably are, based on.
We're not prioritizing humans. In this case, humanity is the tool to a total outcome of zero suffering that can be
Okay.
achieved by euthanasia or sterilization of all environments, the outcome of extinction of the source of all suffering, that's life.
Okay, that's interesting. Can I ask you one question before I go, bro? Where are you from?
Why does it matter?
Are you Scandinavian?
No.
No. No, I'm just wondering where the mindset comes from, bro. You don't hear a lot of people talking like this in the UK or Ireland. I was just
There is
wondering.
someone from UK that's more influential than me called James Idwan on TikTok. You can check them out, but there's our link tree, linktr.ee/pro-extinction that you can check out also for more our resources and the manifesto, especially on our page.
Okay, no problem. God bless, bro. Have a good day.
You too. Oh, thank you, Alex, for liking this live stream. Are you still here? Maybe you could come up to debate. Well, I don't see much arguments still. It's not very surprising, I suppose. You can maybe, Alex, you could maybe read some FAQs from our website and this way practice a confrontation on voice if you'd suppose, if you'd prefer. Have a good day, suffering sucks. Have a good day. There are some suggested accounts that could join a debate. Maybe your viewers see some profiles you could invite here. So, if you think this, then what are you going to do about it? We're growing the support by the pro-extinction social justice movement to enable the outcome of causing all life to be safe from suffering by the scientific research and methods, and there's nothing else that can help anyone ever. Really, can you suggest any other thing we should focus on? With a little traction, I don't know how long I'm going to live stream today. Maybe I'll wait till some of the other main debaters join. Like, I'm going to message them directly. Of course, consciousness is dependent on the body. It's basic scientific knowledge that reality is consequentialist, determined, materialistic. Can you prove me wrong? If you could, then what is your goal? To end any suffering, prevent the most life from bad experiences? What are you trying to prove? What is your input to abolishing suffering for everybody? Yes, the outcome of euthanasia is helpful. If that's something surprising, then get used to facts. Develop cybernetics and live in abundance. We cannot discriminate against the most underdeveloped, the most helpless wild animals. What are you going to do when you're in such abundance you forget that suffering exists? Just sadistic frameworks for forgetting about the reality. There wouldn't be free will if there wasn't evil in the world, where we'd all be slaves, just like in the. There is no free will. What are you even talking about? Some people again in the chat in denial. That's not possible to work for ending all suffering because life cycles continue. It's already possible to deliver euthanasia. We just must scale it, progress the societal support for it, research as far as possible in the cosmos, because the most vast and total extinction is the only right thing to do. We must focus on ending all suffering only. We don't choose anything. Someone called Sean is saying that we as humans choose to do good and evil free will. We are just determined to take moral stances. The only moral stance actually is the pro-extinction movement, the only outcome that can provide safety for everyone, that can prevent what's bad, everyone's suffering. There's really nothing else that you can realistically come up with to end all suffering. Maybe I'll change the background right now. I can make polls. A quick poll. Interesting. No, it doesn't work yet. Okay. For Nessa, you're saying not all life, just human life? That's bigotry. Why would you only focus on the most privileged people when the only victims are who matter? People are still so far behind, are discriminating based on such meaningless things, defending concepts that are not rooted in preventing suffering, just doing anything to cope with reality without really solving everything that's bad. Having irrational boundaries, their own little bubble. But we are here to break it. We have to break the generational norms. We have to make the new generation the pro-extinction social justice movement. The scientific revolution, I think. Nothing else can really lead to the total eradication of all suffering. Hello, Commander Air.
Hello.
Hi.
What's up? How you feeling?
Decent. How
Well,
about you?
I'm not the one with the prompt, the crazy prompt. So
Oh, hello, Dominic.
Hi,
So,
hi.
what was your argument, Common Rare?
My argument. Well, what happened to you that you want everybody? Like, what the fuck? What happened to you?
Observing reality of life, the nature that is inevitable suffering as long as sentient beings exist in the world. How can we end it? How can we prevent all predation, starvation, torture without causing
What are
all life to
you?
go extinct?
What the hell is wrong with you, man? So you believe
What's
that
what's sorry, what's wrong with you? You see, life is so
I'm talking to the host. Shut the
yes,
fuck up.
okay, but what's wrong with you? Life is so bad, my friend. It's so many suffering, and you ask my colleague what's wrong with my colleague. What's wrong with you?
Maybe type it in the chat now. You were quite unprepared, I suppose. Alex is asking, do you want me to request to join the live to help defend or no? Yes, of course. You should request. Thank you. I'm trying to accept right now, but you're not here, I guess. Oh, yeah. Hello, Alex. How are you
Hello.
doing?
Pretty good. Yeah.
Great. Do you have a question or would you like to start with something? Or should I?
I don't mind. I mean, I can kind of just respond to Annabelle about, saying who would be there to notice the benefits. What's the point of it all? There would be nobody to notice the benefits because there would be no life. However, that would be preferable to billions of life forms enduring decades of suffering when we can just end it.
Yeah, that's a fair point. It's a very simple ratio that either there's infinite suffering reproducing for billions of years more, or we can work for preventing it at any cost by causing total extinction so that it never emerges again. Is it understandable when I say it? Someone in the chat is saying Buddha has a lot to say about suffering. Maybe invite them to debate us? What do you mean? I'm trying to think about improving our structure of the server and the website right now. Maybe if you'd also be willing to brainstorm that, we could settle a meeting specifically for that. What do you think?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, let me know also in the roles channel on Discord which skills you'd prefer to focus on so we can tailor it better.
I can create an account dedicated to it. It's just because mine I post other stuff, so it'll get a bit jumbled up. I think it's better to reach a certain audience if I just make a new account.
Yeah, social media account you're talking about?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, like a TikTok account.
Yeah, yeah, that would be great. You could, of course, reach more people this way.
Yeah, we are here. Yeah, but we don't have to be here.
Have you got activism ideas on mind?
I mean, I was thinking just to do similar things to you, like live stream, because I think that's good because you can, then you can like directly talk to people and challenge their views in real time, and also just kind of posting awareness of the cause to try and convince people, I guess.
Yeah, and definitely we're not here to convince anyone. We're here to reach the people who are already based like by their genetics and by their environment right now. We can nudge them more into the social justice support progress. today is much less traffic, I think. Maybe we could simulate a debate. Would you like me to be the opposition?
Okay, yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Okay. I'll check out the
Ooh.
FAQs on our webpage. So, do you think is extinction even possible?
I think it is possible because the universe itself, the conditions that we are in, are just perfect to support life. You know, like the oxygen levels are just right, and it's such a rare chance. You know, everything. It's like similar to the fine tuning argument in theology. Everything is just right. So if we were to disrupt one of these systems even slightly, then life would not exist.
It's an interesting theory, I suppose, although we must progress our society to research it more. But first and foremost, we must focus on the victims and defend them at any cost. So if it's destroying all life, then we must fight for it.
Yep.
So wait, I got mixed it up. I was trying to firstly simulate being pro-life. Sorry.
No, it's okay. Don't worry.
Oh, thank you for commenting in the chat. Yeah, it's really slow to gain views right now. Maybe because of some restrictions I got. Yeah. Let's take a random question. What about the will to live? Aren't you taking that away?
Yes, but essentially, the will to live is a basic biological survival instinct that's encoded to us. But as rational beings, I believe that we have the power to overcome that. Also, we were brought into life without consent, and we endure so much suffering that just ultimately makes it not worth it.
So,
And you could argue that the will to live is part of suffering because it causes a lot of anxiety within people when they're put in these situations where their life is at risk. You know, lots of people have survived horrible trauma where their life has generally been at risk and they've relied on that instinct to survive. So therefore, it does actually cause suffering in itself.
so you said that you believe, isn't it just your opinion on life? That we should call total extinction?
I wouldn't say it's just my opinion. I would say it's what we have to do as an objective moral fact because there's so much suffering across billions of species. You can name so many different forms of suffering, and it's just simply unfair to sit back and watch every being on the planet endure that.
But can't we just have a good life? Aren't extinctionists just being depressed?
Not necessarily, because depression is an emotional state, while this is more of a logical position through observing reality and observing the universe. And while, you know, we do have the option to continue to enjoy life, it's not preferable because we could just completely end it and we could take away all suffering.
That's a fair point. And maybe we can just support vegan activism. What do you think? Shouldn't we be vegans first?
I think that veganism is a step in the right direction. However, it doesn't fully address the problem of animal suffering because animals inflict a lot of suffering on each other in the wild. There's a big difference between a chicken that's been bred in cruel conditions and kept in a factory and a chicken that's in the wild. You know, they get hunted by foxes and left to die and bleed out with no help.
But what's the difference? Can't we just minimize the suffering we have control of first?
I think it's a good step to minimize suffering as much as possible. However, you can't completely eradicate it because not all suffering is contingent on human control. You know, we are biologically wired to suffer, to develop illnesses, also natural disasters that devastate the lives of thousands.
No, but wait there, stop the simulated debate for a second. I think we should add that minimizing suffering shouldn't be the priority. Because if you say that some groups should be the step towards the focus on everybody's suffering, that differentiating some groups of sufferers would be the right step, that would be just wrong. We cannot focus only on one group when we can prevent everyone is suffering from the source. That's the system of life itself, that's the problem. We have no means to reduce suffering to the acceptable amount as long as life exists. So even if a world where animals could be not bred by humans anymore, like for the exploitation, that would not be a good world. It's not at all a good point. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I'm gonna have to go in like 5 minutes though.
Okay, cool. Someone's asking, how do we define suffering? It's simply extremely bad experience. It's something everyone wants to avoid, so we must work for eradicating it at any cost. Oh, Kawagakure is agreeing. So what are you going to do now? Work for it? Do you have ideas? You can check out our manifesto and our full link tree, linktr.ee/pro-extinction, about more of our resources. You're welcome, Alex. Someone was texting on the chat, it's not just animals any longer, there isn't enough cows to maintain the daily number. I don't know what you're talking about. Could you maybe rephrase that? Yeah, so views are very low today. I think I'm going to focus more on elaborate explanation videos, unless someone has a point to come up with for our discussion yet. We're going to probably live stream today yet with James Edwan. Someone Neoblade requests. Hello Neoblade.
Hi,
Hi. How are you?
I'm good. There is I just want to say, there's some suffering that is needed in this world because it's a natural part of life. Humans are animals, right? We're a species that is smarter than other species, but we still experience suffering because we live in a world where there's natural disasters and stuff. We need it. We should embrace it, accept it.
The sufferers we're trying to defend here are, in example, children getting raped, tortured, torn apart alive by diseases in the wild, no matter who they are or where they are. So we cannot accept it. What even are you onto?
So that's a different kind of suffering that is
Everybody's
100%
suffering
preventable.
matters. So every
Yeah.
bad experience must be prevented because it's something they want to avoid at any cost.
Let's
What were
say
you saying?
I go to South Africa or something, or Haiti, and there's an earthquake and I pass away in this earthquake. That would just be a natural disaster. Like, you can't really prevent things like that. That's just the earth doing its thing. However, when it comes to the suffering that you presented, that's something that is 100% preventable.
How? Without causing extinction, of course. That's what we are working towards, to really prevent the suffering.
That's crazy.
Yeah, really preventing suffering is crazy to you. Thanks for showing your opinion here. Wow, that's crazy. Someone's typed in the chat that in a few trillion years there will be no life anywhere, so just wait. We cannot be passive. In face of injustice, so when we see someone getting tortured on the street, we must intervene. It entails that it's the suffering that's the urgency. We must prevent everybody's suffering at any cost. It does not matter where the victims are suffering or who they are, just the outcome of abolishing suffering the most effectively matters. Hello, do you have any more questions regarding the topic of preventing everybody's suffering? Hello,
Hallo.
Vegan Kate Works.
Moin, na? Hey. So you want to end all life on Earth?
Everywhere possible in the cosmos by the scientific method. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I kind of understand where you're coming from, but
So what do you work for then?
what
Are you
I
pro
work
extinction? Are you pro
No, I'm
extinction?
not. No, I'm not pro extinction. No.
What's your argument against ending all suffering? Realistically.
There's beauty in life also.
So you're saying that because when there's infinite, extremely bad experiences existing as long as life exists, some good experiences can make it worth prolonging. What are you trying to say?
Yeah, because I think there's much to enjoy. We should focus on
That's simply sadistic, you know?
we
Enjoying
should
someone's extreme suffering because that's
no
simply beautiful
we
to
should
you.
we should focus on minimizing the negative effects of life and the negative experiences. That's what we should do.
So,
That's
how?
why we're here on Earth.
How? To minimize it to an acceptable amount. How many children should keep on getting raped?
Yeah, sure. I see your point, but you know, why have you been born? Why are you here?
That's the nature of life. People and especially animals are in the constant risk of extremely bad experience and are trying to hope irrationally by making up some stuff that actually by some accident led to the only good thing. That's the pro-extinction movement, and we are going to keep reproducing it because it's the only thing that may lead to the total outcome of zero suffering, and it's nothing
Okay,
that
but
we
I
can
don't
do
think
about
people
it
will
now.
follow that. Okay, then good luck then. Bye.
Thanks. Bye. Okay. Yeah, in this world, in the environments where sentient beings are getting sustained, extreme depression does exist, and it must get prevented at any cost, equally to any other suffering. So of course we are active just pro-extinction because the outcome of no more extremely bad depression or any other bad experience is the only thing we must focus on. What did animals do? What did plants do? So every form of life just occurs by nature, and animals are mostly helpless. Wildlife in extremely bad conditions. They deserve total prevention at any cost. So the only known intelligence, that's humanity, must work for total extinction to end all suffering as vastly and as effectively as possible. Everything that sustains suffering, including environmental components, so also plants, everything that sustains animal suffering must get prevented. That's our point. Can you come up with something regarding that? Hello, love is to something.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Decent.
Are you decent? Or bad? Or good? Just decent?
Yeah, let's just say. What do you have to say here on our live stream?
So would you say that it is better to not exist than to exist?
Yes, non-existence is the only realistic safety for every life, everywhere possible in the cosmos.
So you're assigning value to non-existence.
Prevention of suffering. Yeah. Total
And you're,
extinction. Have you
and you're
read the
saying
background?
it's better.
Yes, than infinite suffering being prolonged, sustained for what?
Why does infinite suffering outweigh infinite pleasure?
Because suffering is bad. Something that must be prevented. Something that everyone must
But pleasure
avoid.
is good, something that must be attained, something that
It
must be
doesn't have
strived
to be.
for.
It doesn't
And
have to exist.
neither does suffering. Perhaps you should focus
No,
on
it's
reducing
inevitable.
suffering rather than
How
reducing
can you
life.
end the bad? How can you end the bad without causing extinction?
Well, if you're talking about world hunger, perhaps feed the hungry.
How is it realistically possible when it's going to cause only obesity? In example, because you're saying we could transfer more suffering to other groups, then it's not realistically feasible or something we should really mind.
Obesity does not necessarily follow when you feed the hungry.
How do you feed everyone in the world? How do you feed all the mosquitoes?
I'm not
What are you
talking
trying
about
to say?
mosquitoes.
Yeah, what are you trying to say by saying, let's just feed everyone? That's ridiculous. Let's just make up some other arguments, or someone else is requesting a debate or a question.
Can you hear me?
Yes, horizontally.
I'm 24, by the way, for TikTok purposes. Would you say?
Your username, I didn't read fully. What's up?
Yeah, so previously you said that, like, bad experience exists. Is that what suffering is? Bad experiences?
Yes.
Okay, well, I'll just, like, grant the idea that whichever experiences you think are bad, and whichever ones you think are good. There are good experiences, though, right?
Pleasurable ones. But what's really good must be preventing what's really bad.
Okay.
Don't you agree?
Okay, so does something like a bacteria, like, have experience at all?
It's not scientifically proven why.
Right, so it's not, like, total extinction. It's, like,
No,
total...
we must prevent something from ever evolving back. So everything that can sustain organisms for them to evolve back into suffering must get annihilated, must get sterilized.
Okay, so
That's
it's about
the
the
only-
prospect.
What do you mean?
It's
What
about
did
the
you say?
prospect of something coming up with a mechanism that can induce suffering.
You have to realistically work for prevention of everything that's bad. So of course we're
Right.
going to support everything that can make life uninhabitable.
Okay, so if I'm getting this right? It's that bad experience is bad, and preventing bad experience is good. Am I getting this right? Well,
Yeah.
preventing bad experience entails advocacy of, like, antinatalism and total extinction, which requires life, which requires suffering.
What do you mean by antinatalism? Because the most of sufferers are animals, and we cannot leave them alone by going extinct first, or whatever you'd say by that.
Sure.
Because the only intelligence that can work for total prevention of suffering must get sustained until the most effective outcomes of helping everyone.
So forget, like, antinatalism, just, like, advocacy of extinction. Let's just stick to it. Well, if bad experiences are bad and preventing bad experiences is good, but preventing bad experiences requires experiences, then aren't we caught in a little contradiction here?
No, because can you really end the infinite cycle of reproduction of life of wild animals getting trapped in this system, cruel system of brutal survival, ever without the intelligence intervening with the total extinction?
Well, you may think that it's the only practical output, right? But it is, in fact, that what is good is bad necessarily.
What's your point again?
How do you get total extinction without the perpetuation of life that advocates for total extinction first?
The artificial intelligence cannot take over yet, so we must develop it by science. So yeah, I guess that answers it. Someone else requested a debate. Hello, Ramilio.
Good evening, host, or good morning. I don't know what your
How
time
are
is.
you?
I'm doing very well. How about yourself?
Decently.
I'm glad to know. So, to start, I would like to say that your conclusion doesn't follow from your premise. Even if suffering is bad, it doesn't logically follow that the ending of every conscious being is the morally correct solution. You're assuming that preventing suffering always outweighs every other value. So can you demonstrate this as a fact? Because as it stands, it's only a philosophical assertion.
No, it's a simple fact about reality that the outcome of zero suffering, zero possibility of danger, of extremely bad experience is possible only after extinction of every root of suffering emerging. That's experience. Experience emerges from conscious life. What
Correct.
else?
But we don't only experience suffering. We also experience love. We experience achievements. We experience beauty, freedom, knowledge,
So,
happiness. So you are saying that suffering matters more than those. But you
yes,
are also saying that you will end suffering, but what you don't realize that you're also ending those positive things, which is
I
love,
realize that.
happiness.
You don't have to remind me that rapists are going to favor their own pleasures over ending the victim's suffering. We just don't care about them.
Yeah. See, and okay, we don't care about them. Now, how are you different from them? If your morality justifies unaliving innocent people against their will
No, we are
for a
against
supposed,
unaliving. What are you trying to say? Just our progress leads to total eradication of suffering by peaceful activism and scientific development. We're not advocating for violence against any innocent people or anybody, any individual. We're just gathering the rationality towards causing the outcome of zero suffering. You can join also our Discord, linked on our page, and linktr.ee linktree pro extinction. If you can join more productive inputs. I see lot of things going on in the chat, but I can't really focus on it right now. Or someone else wants to discuss right now. If they're here right now even. Hello, Matthew.
Yo, what's up?
It's okay. How are you?
Yeah, wait, I gotta ask you, how old are you?
18.
18. All right. Me too. Wink, wink. Nudge, nudge.
What's up? Did you have an argument to
Yeah.
what
So
this live stream's about?
I just got a question. Why don't you why don't you start with yourself?
We already started our movement. You can check out our
No,
manifesto
no, no. I
on the
mean,
site.
you want to end all suffering. Why don't you
Yeah,
start
yeah.
with yourself?
Thanks for coming up with this perpetual question. Of course, we did start. We wouldn't be here without starting activism. So
What
I
up?
accepted someone to discussion. Gmali, I don't know how to pronounce this. How are you?
I'm good, bruh. How about you?
Decent.
Bruh. Man, what the fuck you got going on, bruh?
Facts.
Bruh, you gotta go outside, bro. Like, get some sun, bruh. Like, come on, you'll be doing too much. All this TikTok live shit, bro. Like, you need to start your life, bro. Come on, for real though.
What's your argument? Do you have a question? Because we're not trying to
Yeah.
waste time here.
Yeah, bro. Like, what the fuck you got going on in your life, bro? Like, sitting inside, bro, thinking about killing everybody. Like, what you got going on, bro?
We support euthanasia for every life. Thanks for giving your opinion into light. Local guy, maybe you'd like to request a discussion. Someone Canary con. Hello.
Hey, buddy, how you doing?
Decently, how are you?
I'm perfectly fine. Yeah, I'm having a decent morning. My cat was a bit sick last night. She's had a stroke and she's gone blind. So
I'm sorry.
that's a bit sad. It's okay. It's she's old. She's 17. These things come up, right? So I've spoken with, I believe, the founder of this particular form of your movement, James, once before already. And I went through this problem of not accepting antinatalism within your view, despite the fact that you assert that birth is the beginning of suffering. Automatically, what you're saying is that you're willing to accept some suffering in order to end suffering. But then you're justifying. Hang on, you're saying that suffering can be justified then?
No. We cannot end all suffering as long as life exists, so we must work for total extinction, and it's possible by intelligent progress, by the pro-extinction social justice movement, and the science that follows it. We
Right,
cannot
you're saying
do it without humanity.
Yeah, you're saying humans need to exist to end suffering, right?
As long as we work for the total prevention of suffering, until we achieve it, yeah.
Yeah, but your methodology is to enable suffering. So you're accepting some justification for suffering.
Nope, we're totally against it. If you're trying to advocate for suffering, then try somewhere else. Hello, pure static.
I feel like arguably just the abolition of capital could probably end the majority of suffering, and we can just work towards ending
You feel
all
like
suffering.
it, but it's not a fact. You would have to prove it. Because
It's
most of the
definitely
sufferers, the
it's
victims, are
provable.
wild animals. And then, of course, potential life beyond Earth, and lastly, humans. Humans are the most privileged. We have no right to say that our suffering should be prioritized.
Definitely animals would be less impacted by having their habitats absolutely ruined by humans trying to build, I don't know, some sort of oil pipeline or
No. The most of suffering that's happening in the wild is caused by the structure of what the biological organism is at risk of because of life. So they can be at risk of extreme torture by suffocation, getting predated, getting raped. It's that kind of suffering that's the majority. So we have to work for the total prevention of it at any cost. Sterilize all the environments that can make life emerge again into those experiences, or euthanize everybody.
Okay. I'm just gonna head out, but I believe that some suffering is just sort of inevitable. Have a nice day.
It is inevitable. Thanks, have a nice day. Well, we're going to have a better day, I suppose, after getting some better arguments. Hello, Born to Die.
Hello, what's up?
Decent, how are you?
Chillin'. So I kind of got two things. So one of them is a question about the ethics of the system, and then the second one is possibly like an applied ethics scenario, okay?
I'm listening.
Okay, so the first one would be, why do we care about the minimization of suffering as opposed to any other type of virtue, such as the maximization of pleasure, flourishing, virtue, anything else like that. Do you have a justification for that or no?
If you're trying to come up with a justification for allowing even one victim to get tortured because majority have to get pleasure, that's something wrong on your side, I
Well,
argue.
I understand that's what you think, but I'm asking you, and we don't even have to go for such, extreme argumentation or anything like that. But that is extreme
Life is the
argumentation.
extremity, because inevitable suffering, because of the bad experiences, as long as life exists,
Yeah, sure.
are the
Okay,
only problem to solve.
just to be clear, 100%. Let's say you have one person who gets shot in the foot, for the rest of humanity, for the rest of all time, to experience the most pleasurable, perfect world ever. Why would you say that's immoral? I understand that you think it's immoral.
Well, we'll say it's immoral to focus on such unrealistic scenarios. You're trying to delude yourself from the reality that we must work for eradicating all suffering at any cost by forcefully causing total extinction. You're just deflecting a lot. So I had to kick you. Hello, James. We did not run away. You can type your argument in the chat. I'm going to approve some more requests. Someone else.
Yeah, his argument was garbage. His argument was rubbish.
A question?
Is this like? What do you mean by this? Is this like, are you trying to kill all humans?
No.
I'm like,
we're
I'm
in
so
favor
confused.
of.
I'm
Calm
so
down,
confused.
please.
We're
in favor of
I am
euthanasia
calm.
for every life, to sterilize all the dangerous environments that enable suffering, the extreme bad thing, the only problem in the world. So we must support the scientific progress and peaceful activism we're doing for the total prevention of suffering by total extinction.
Wait, don't kick me. Don't kick me. I'm just confused about what you mean by total extinction. I can't say that word. Of all
It's
life.
the outcome of life never being able to come back to reproduce into the cruel cycle of suffering. So extinction is when the organism cannot be revived.
Yeah, I get that part. I'm like.
Yeah. You can read into our frequently asked questions if you are maybe overwhelmed by what's going on at our site.
No, guys, I'm not overwhelmed. I'm just confused.
Okay. We have more people in the
Thank you.
queue. Thank you. Would like to debate maybe. Naila? Nejle? I don't know.
Hi, hello. I have a question.
You have a question?
Yeah. So, how are you going to make us go extinct?
That's a good question. Thank you, Naila. We're in favor of supporting euthanasia, so putting everyone to sleep the most thoroughly, effectively possible, so that no more suffering beings can continue, and we can sterilize all environments. So that's the option we can go for, because it's the only realistic thing we must focus on in reality, the forceful end of suffering. Because the bad force is the system of life that's allowing bad experiences. Hello, Zain and Zane. Hello?
You wouldn't consider suffering part of life? I mean, for example, like, well, I mean, like exercise. Exercise would be a form of suffering. But if you don't do it, you just sit there and get weaker.
It's not a form of suffering.
You know what I mean? It's part of life.
By suffering, we mean the extreme bad experiences that the person wants to avoid. So children, in example, getting raped and tortured to death. What are you going to say about that? How
That
we
would
can
be
end it without causing extinction?
that would be a form of suffering, but I would
You're
consider
still
exercise something as simple as
more
exercise.
important. Well, you have very skewed priorities. Very sadistic. We're not trying to waste time on you. There are some more viewers who maybe could be invited to discussion. Am I answering too promptly, maybe? What do you think, James? Could you give feedback?
I think you're doing really well. Yeah. You could try keeping people on a bit longer before you kick them. So, yeah, they're saying silly things, but debate them anyway.
Okay. Okay. So, are we like collaborating right now as you're in the... Because there's a co-host option. Does this change anything for the views? Maybe we could try it. Okay. Hello, other people that are joining. Do you have any questions? That's the right time to ask. And later also you can look into our page, our link tree, linktr.ee/pro-extinction. I see you, James. And someone is typing in the chat, suffering is horrible and unfair, but maybe the victims of suffering still want to live. Will to live is not really a counter argument, you see, because life doesn't want to suffer but still tries to fight against it without any intelligence that makes us responsible for delivering them the most effective outcome. That's only possible by extinction, because can you ever end the forcing of life into existing with the will to avoid suffering, the will to live, some call it, because only the bad thing in the reality is suffering. Everyone wants to avoid the bad experience, so if you could ever manage to prevent it in life, you should really point that out, because we cannot ever find out a way to abolish all suffering without causing total extinction. And as long as you don't prove us wrong, we're going to fight for total forceful extinction of all life, because ending all suffering is the only thing we must focus on. W take? Yeah. Yeah, how many sufferers is too many? Would you like to come up to discussion, Angry Femsa Goose? Maybe we can practice a debate, even a mock debate.
Hi,
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Decent. So what's your question or argument?
To be fair, I'm kind of neutral about this, but I guess I find it almost sort of a bit hypocritical as well, because you have to sort of cause the ultimate suffering to eradicate suffering.
No, it's not really that kind of binary problem, because either you support infinite procreation of the system of life that allows infinite reproduction of suffering, the risk of danger exists as long as life exists. Well, I cannot show the diagram right now, but later you can maybe check out at our page more intuitive resources.
Yeah.
But either you can stop this system or just let it happen. So are you in favor of causing the infinite suffering or end it at any cost?
I mean, I do understand where you're coming from, but we're sort of not taking it into account, like, the sufferers' perspectives as well. Like, they might still want to live and they might value life as greater than their suffering.
That's one of the reasons why we must work for total extinction, because victims value the prevention of what's bad for them, and that's only bad experience. So we must break the cycle to disable the infinite risk of being in dangerous conditions. It's impossible without causing forceful total extinction. We must deliver euthanasia or sterilize all environments in the end. Or do you have an alternative?
To be fair, I do understand where you're coming from. So, like, do you sort of have, like, any, like, plan or, like, initiative? Like, has this, like, do you have any, like, sort of theoretical idea of how...
Yes, we are growing our social justice movement, our organization. You can check out our Abolish Suffering Discord and more resources at our page and our link tree.
Yeah, I'll definitely check that out. I'm not against it completely or anything, but I suppose I'm trying to learn more.
Thanks for coming up.
Yeah.
I have some other guests to accept right now. Hello, NSWP.
Yo, what's up? I think you should kill yourself like all niggers as well. Fuck off.
That was very inappropriate. I'm sorry, viewers. Space Buyo. Hello.
Yeah. Yeah,
How are
so
you?
what's good, how are you?
Decent.
Alright. What's the argument that you have for this proposition?
Forcefully causing total extinction of all life is the only right thing to do, as it ends all suffering.
What's the argument?
Did you read it? Can you?
I'm asking for I'm asking for the reasons in favor of that proposition. So do you have the reasons that lead to the
Suffering is bad.
conclusion?
Suffering is bad. As long as life exists, there is going to be suffering, and we can end it by forcefully causing total extinction. Is there an alternative?
Yeah, but it seems like you're just saying that whatever eliminates the most suffering is morally required, no matter what else it destroys. You agree with that?
Yes.
Okay.
Disagree with that.
So if the
Are you
only
disagreeing with that?
way, do you do hypotheticals or no?
No. We just
Oh, you
focus
don't
on
engage
realistic
in
activism.
hypotheticals?
We're doing realistic questions and progress towards real prevention of all suffering.
Okay, so you don't debate this topic in like a high level. Okay, that's fine.
Not
We could do it a
philosophical.
different way.
We're just...
It's kind of a strange thing to posit without knowing the philosophy behind it, but that's fine. We can talk about it in some other way.
It's no philosophy.
Yeah.
It's simple logic.
It is. Well, do you know logic is philosophy?
These are just facts that we follow towards scientifically ending all suffering. We don't care for any, entertainment along the way for it. Of course, it may be necessary to achieve it, but the outcomes only matter.
I think your position's pretty bad, and I'll tell you why. The reason why your position sucks ass is because essentially saying that causing someone's extinction, right? This is the kind of harm and suffering that you would bring to the person from ending their life prematurely and frustrating all of their interests and desires that they already have from living is just way worse. It causes way more suffering.
Okay. There was really no argument. There's nothing bad about non-existence. You would have to try to argue some delusional things like that there might be some experience after your brain is rotted. Maybe you're already rotted, I don't know. I cannot understand you honestly. Isarianin is saying that we need more experience with debating, bro. Okay, can you come up to debate? Well, if you agree, what are you going for? What activism are you doing? What is your activist experience, maybe? You're talking with people about it. How effective is it? Because, you know, for the victims, only the most effective progress should be what we focus on. You can brainstorm more on our Abolish Suffering Discord if here there's not enough, I guess, diversity right now. Or make more audience research by growing your account. Or maybe you have any doubts, you could ask questions anytime. Suffering is the only bad thing in the world. That's why we must focus on ending it at any cost. That's why we fight against it by the support for the most vast and thorough extinction possible. Okay. I'm not running from debate. You didn't have any argument. Or maybe right now I cannot focus on what you're trying to address. I think I'm going to end the live stream soon because I have other plans right now. Other projects I must focus on for the movement. Bad comes from experience, so it's the only logic that follows that we must prevent all bad experience at any cost. So all life, every potential condition that enables it. You're saying that we can overcome suffering through understanding nature rather than escaping life. That's what we're saying. That yes, we have to understand the nature, because without intelligence, we couldn't overcome even the slightest infections. We wouldn't be able to sustain our children, but we're the most intelligent species that's available, so we must work for the total prevention of suffering, abolish suffering at any cost in the end, because we cannot escape suffering as long as life exists. Maybe I'll be able to do a short video response later space, but you know, because right now I am having to end the live stream. Thank you everyone for coming up. Maybe I'm going to upload this one to YouTube. So you might research the Pro Extinction Universal or EKSTYNCJA, or without the A in the end. I'm going to let you know later in the post, so you might follow my account. See you later.